So this is true Peaky Blinder country, this. You look at Peaky Blinders, it's all videoed and recorded up sort of Manchester and Oldham way, and a little bit in the Black Country. But this here is all where it used to be. This is the old Garrison Tavern is over to the left somewhere. So this is the...
So in a continuation from our previous film, we continue our quest and our cruise towards Birmingham city centre. We're now on the Saltley Cut. We've just left the Star City moorings, which you'll have seen in the previous film, and we're on our way to meet our friends Cathy and Howard. Cathy wants a special photograph taken in a particular place, so that's the little task to do today. We're then going to go up through the Ashted tunnel and Ashted flight.
But Cathy and Howard should be meeting us up here somewhere. We'll meet them at the bottom lock. I've had a message to say that they're just arriving at the bottom lock, so I think we're about 5-10 minutes away from there. And they're going to come up with us then through the Saltley flight. We're going to Bawdsey Junction, where we want to take a photograph. I said earlier I'd tell you what that was all about. So Cathy's an artist. You'll remember the stuff I did in the Galton cutting, and I showed you a picture, a painting that she'd done, which was fantastic, of the Galton cutting and the Galton tunnel. And she wants to do a similar thing at Bawdsey Junction, because as much as graffiti can be that eyesore and that, you know, what none of us really like, it does also identify an area as urban, doesn't it? It's one of those identifiers. And actually, if you block out the wanton violence side of it, that gratuitous sort of damage to property, which is not right. If you can just look at the kind of the colours and how it does set up that urban environment, it's quite an artistic thing, really. And I think, I don't know what her motivation is for it, because she does have quite serious motivations with regard to her paintings. She's quite a political person. She's quite an activist in her own right, is Cathy, and her paintings sort of show that. So there's always a meaning behind her paintings, and she will gladly tell you what her motivation was and what the drivers were for the reason for a photo or the reason for a painting. So that's what we're going to start. We're going to start that process for her today, where she wants a photograph of this boat coming out of a particular lock with that sort of urban sprawl around. We'll see. There might be a lot more to it than that, I don't know. Who knows the insides of Cathy's mind? I bet Howard doesn't even know the inside of Cathy's mind. But it'd be nice to meet Howard properly today. Met him for a drink. The two of them are hiring a boat this year for the first time. So Cathy's already had one or two sort of casual pointers from me. Today there'll be a further opportunity to do that, and to get Howard on the tiller a little bit, and get them through some locks. And then just before they have a holiday, I'm going to spend a day with them, where basically I'm going to hand this boat over to them, and I'll be within their sort of presence, if you like, to assist if necessary. But ultimately, you know, they need to know all that sort of how to sort of moor up, how to sort of cast off, how to wind, all those sorts of things. How you pass a passing boat, how do you pass a moored boat? Lots of stuff there that very often the holiday companies don't pass that information on. You're just sort of sent out there and expected to get on with it and find your own way. So it gives us a chance to do a bit of that, so they feel a bit more comfortable when they have that first holiday.
Mrs. L. She's the teacher on the day. Cathy's got quite a bit of experience now anyway, but it's all new to Howard. By the time he's done all the farmer's flight tonight, he'll be done. He'll know it by then. So, putting the graffiti and the rubbish aside, this section now of the next half a mile has got about 9 bridges. So when the water's still like this, there are some beautiful shadows. It's a lovely view. And we're heading down now towards Borsley Junction. So I've reversed into here now, reversing into this lock. Cathy is going off down there. She's going to get a photograph from, I think, over the other side of the bridge there. Looking back at this coming out of here. There's Mrs. L in position up there. I think Cathy likes Mrs. L's style. She likes the hat and stuff. So she wanted this photograph to have Mrs. L dressed in her usual fineries. But you can see here the urban view. So that's exactly what Cathy wants to get in the photograph and ultimately into the painting. Well, there's Cathy over there now. So yeah, that's the sort of picture that Cathy was looking for, with a boat coming out of the lock there. So we'll see what that looks like come the day. Looking forward to that. That's a fabulous bit of artwork, isn't it? Just on a dirty old factory wall like that. So this is true Peaky Blinder country, this. You look at Peaky Blinders, it's all videoed and recorded up sort of Manchester and Oldham way, and a little bit in the Black Country. But this here is all where it used to be. This is the old Garrison Tavern is over to the left somewhere. So this is the area that the Shelbys would have been sort of terrorising the local population. So there's the Bond Warehouse. That's where I stayed last year. They're obviously doing some work. I think BBC are coming into here. So it's going to be a new sort of BBC place. So we stayed
Me and Tom from Snagbro stayed in that basin there. A couple of years ago. But it's a fabulous building, this is. Obviously stripping it out and doing something new. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be the BBC's new Birmingham sort of headquarters or something. But it's a fab old building. It used to supply ice. It's called the Ice House in there. And it used to supply ice to the wholesale markets. So it would have... Been here before. This is the Warwick Bar and the Banana Warehouse. This whole area is called the Warwick Bar Conservation Area. You can see the sprawling city there, and that's where the HS2 hub's going to be, sort of dead ahead. And this weird looking building here, for those of you who've seen my stuff before, you'll know that that's the Fellows Morton Clayton warehouse where all those old boats used to come out of. Are we all right, Mrs. L here? This is the Warwick Bar stop lock. Straighten her up. Treat it like a lock, darling. Treat it like a lock. Turning right. It's tight fit basin. Get around here, get to a lock at the end of this tunnel. This is Curzon Street Tunnel. So above here will be the HS2 hub, ultimately. Quite atmospheric through here. It smells of urine. And there's a lock at the end of here. It takes us to the Ashted flight. So this is the Ashted tunnel, and this one scares me a bit because it's not an even arch inside. In fact, the one side of it towards this end of the tunnel is just the wrong shape for your boat, really. And so if you're not careful, you scratch all your cabin top on the boat. Mrs. Lumsden holds the rope on the bow and just just pulls it across. So it just keeps a bit of gentle pressure. Because otherwise, if you look down this side, it's not, the wall's not true. You can see just further down there how the shape of the tunnel isn't right. You see down here how tight that gets there. The baller wasn't actually holding that rope. There's a probability or possibility that you catch all the carry top. The tunnel's not a true semicircle. It's okay now, Mrs. Lumsden. It's all good. Thank you. So that's it. We're at the top of the Ashted flight. Just come through the Ashted tunnel. That's the top lock. So we've just got Farmer's Bridge to do, so we're having a cup of tea and a slice of ginger cake on the lock, as you do.
And if you haven't already done so, give us a subscribe, click on like, and we'll see you next time when we actually do hit the bright lights of the city. Bye for now, look after yourselves.